Okay, so welcome everyone. Good to see everybody. Thank you for being here. I've got my live stream up on YouTube, so that's a good thing. I'm feeling crooked. Okay, so I'm going to take a breath and I'm going to jump in. Today, we're going to talk about doing some rubbings. So, this is something that maybe we did when we were young. We took our crayons and we peeled the back. Now look how pointed this looks. That's because I've been doing some rubbings and trying them out. So where you put the paper over some texture and you rub. And the cool thing about this is a great way to make backgrounds in our art journals. It's a really great way. And that's what I love about it. So that's what we're going to work on today. So I have some good old trusty Crayolas. I got these on sale for next to nothing. So I don't mind using them and maybe ruining them, or, because how you're going to use them, you're going to wear down one side or whatever. You can use any color of the rainbow that you like, except for probably white. I do save my white crayons though, because these are great for resist. So we're going to talk about that when we start doing some of these rubbings, because it's just natural. Wax crayons will resist watercolor and other things. So I save the white ones for when I want to do a resist kind of painting, right? So these are good for that, but they're not good for what we're going to do today. You want to pick a color. Anything works. Some crayons sometimes are better than others. So, you have to play with that. But today, so I have some full pans of watercolors that I have here. These are made in Japan. These are Gansai. And I'm sorry, I can't tell you more than that. They came from another Kansai. I don't remember. So it doesn't say on the back, but there's full pans of watercolors that I happen to have. I'm using these today because these are a little more vibrant than just your regular old inexpensive watercolors, I guess I would say. So that's why I'm using those. The other thing I brought to try, and I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to try it, is I brought a gelato, because this could be cool. And these are water soluble, I do believe. So I don't know. It might not be a good idea, but we'll play and we'll see, because I'm all about experimentation. So I'm going to put you overhead and we're going to talk a little bit. So let's go back there. Oh, hi, Laura. Good to see you. I have allergies, so I apologize. My nose is itchy. So probably too much information, right? Nobody needed to know that, but my nose is so itchy today. So, okay, we're going to put you overhead. Let's see. I'm going to switch you out. And there we go. Here's how we're working today. I seem to be a little off there. And since I mostly like to work on this side, I'm going to bring you over a little. I might have gone too far. Okay. So this is our project from 2 weeks ago. I just wanted to show you what that looked like. This was in our journal. And this is how I've left it ever since we finished. So that was the project we did, the very first live stream. And then these are my cards from last week. So these are the 4 cards that I made. Let go of fear, find ways to laugh, do something for someone else. Is this one. And this one is lose yourself in something. This is the one with the candles. So these are just how I finished it. I'm hoping you can see them all. I don't think you can. So I'm just going to show you. So those sheets that you could, the PDFs that you could print out, they were kind of big. I wanted people to be able to see them. You could shrink them down to print them. But this is what I did. So I cut out the sentence, let go of worry or fear. And then I took the paragraph that described how to do this, and I just glued it to the back of my card, and I folded over this little flap so that I could remember if I wanted to let go of worry or fear, that there was a little exercise that I could do on the back. I didn't do that for every card because some of them are self-explanatory. This one is find ways to laugh. I mean, You pretty much can figure that out. Do something for someone else. Well, there was a little explanation. I wrote bake or just write a note for someone who needs to smile or who needs a smile today. So I did put that on the back. This is lose yourself in something, and I didn't put anything on the back of this one. This could be anything. Something typically, when you think about losing yourself in something, you're thinking about something you really love to do. Hopefully, if you're here, you really love to art journal. So that might be your thing. Or it could be reading. You find a really good book and you get lost in your really good book, and it's dinner time before you know it. Or maybe you miss dinner. It's so good. So these are just suggestive ways that when we're having those days where we need, we're not feeling our best or whatever, these are just little suggestions for what we could do to have maybe a better day. Sometimes it's not all about us. It's all about maybe doing something for someone else. So that's why I included those. So that was last week's project. Again, this was the week before. And now here I have all my extra watercolors here that I brought, and we're going to get into our lesson. So the things that I did this week is I took things like cardboard. I have this is a hot plate that I had in my kitchen, and I tried rubbing with this. And believe it or not, I pulled out stencils, and these work. So I'm going to show you that. So I have a couple stencils here. And even though this paper in this book is quite thick, it did work when I tried using it. So I'm just going to do a quick demo here. You know what? I'm just going to put this one on for now. And we'll do a little quick demo with our crayon. I liked the flowers, and let's see if we can get the flowers to come out here. And I'm rubbing. So I just peeled back the crayon. You could peel back all the paper if you wanted. And I'm rubbing on this flower stencil. Now this stencil is only that corner, as you saw. But this is a great way to make really easy backgrounds in your journals. Now, this is just one corner. So, you know what? Let's try using this corner over here. More flowers, just in a smaller size. So these are crayons. They're wax, and they're going to create somewhat of a resist. Now, I also tried, let's try this. I put the cardboard, I had peeled back the cardboard, as you can see. I left some of it attached, but that didn't matter when I did the rubbings. So I'll show you. So here's the part I peeled back. And I didn't peel back this other side here, but still those ridges from the cardboard are showing up. So they do come through. So now if you wanted to do a really down and dirty, quick project in your journal, this would be a great way to do it. Get some watercolors. Doesn't matter what color you pick. I'm going to choose this, and I'm going to wet this a little bit with a... Okay, so I have a spray bottle of water, and I'm just going to wet it so it has time to kind of set up a little bit. Now, I used a small brush yesterday when I did these, but I have this really big fluffy brush, and if I can reach it without... I actually have two, and I'm going to grab them. I meant to bring them with me. So I have these two really big brushes. I have this one is a Neptune brush by Princeton. This one is a 3/4 inch wash brush. This is by Simply Simmons. You know, something like this. It doesn't even have to be this big. Yesterday I used a petal brush or a cat's tongue brush. Well, it wasn't this one, but it was a little bit bigger than this one. I even used that and it worked. So let's, I'm gonna wet this. I'm trying to decide which one I think I like better. I've got this brush and I haven't played with it yet. So let's wet this. It's quite thirsty. It's very big and moppy, as you can see. So it's quite wet. And I'm gonna just dip into my watercolor and I'm gonna show you. Now you can see, I hope, that this is resisting. So the parts where there's a lot of crayon is resisting. Now, because this is so thirsty, you're going to have to, if you have a big brush like this, you're going to have to dip it several times. But you can see that resist happening. And this creates an awesome background. So this is just some watercolor. You can make this as dark as you like or as light as you like. Let's see, you know, sometimes it's best to even put a little water on your paper. Now, some other really great ideas for this. You could go outside and get yourself a lot of stuff. I don't know what that accent was that just came out of me. A lot of outside branches, leaves, flowers, and try this method. You could find a tree with really cool bark, which is what I really wanted to do and never got to do. Yesterday was my day for going to the park, and I got there early in the morning without my equipment, and I was planning to go back, and I didn't get to go back. So I'm just going to get my kitchen towels, as they say. So these are paper towels that I have, and I'm just going to kind of mop up what's on here. And you'll see this will also leave the design from this, but this is kind of a cool thing to do too. But this will dry. It's resisted in those areas. You could have left the color on there or not. So that's what it looks like in the book. Now, these pages are super thick, if you have this kind of book, you know, this is cardstock. I think this is considered cardstock. So it's super thick. This might work a little bit better on some paper. So my next plan is to get some different kinds of papers and to try it. If you guys have any questions, make sure you put them in the chat so I can read them. So I have some sketch paper. This is a piece of sketch paper. It's quite thin, as you can see. And then I have this piece of colored pencil paper. I believe this is, I'm looking, colored pencil paper with not very well ripped off edges here. So let me turn this the other way. This is just under paper I have under here. So this is a hot plate that I had just to try something different on this thinner paper. I wanted to see if this would come out. And it does. And there you go. Now, the way I look at this is an easy, when you don't know what else to do for a background, when you don't know what else you'd want to do for a background, when you're tired and you just want to maybe get some things in your journal, this is when you would do something like this. This is to create a background. So I'm using some yellow now. Actually, I'm going to wet this a little bit so that the watercolor kind of goes on easy. So this would be great because you could cut things out of this. You could just cut the whole circle out. And here you go. So this is quite thin, and this is how watercolor, it wrinkles, it gets like this, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. I think we should try the gelato though. For some reason, I felt like I wanted to try this. Maybe we'll try something else underneath there. I always love these circles or the squares. So you could do this forever and ever, I'm convinced. Oh. Yeah, so now if we put water to this, I think these gelatos are just gonna go away. And as you can see, the circles, the gelatos are pretty soft. They are water reactive though. So there's a little bit of the circles that stay. So maybe that wouldn't be such a great thing to use, but you know, if you're not trying and experimenting, then you're not, and failing, I should say this. If you're not trying and failing, then you're not experimenting enough in my mind. We should have things that we think of trying that don't work out. Our journals shouldn't be this pristine. I kind of wanted to talk about this pristine book all the time. It's easy to think, oh, everybody's journal looks so wonderful, and there's all kinds of, you know, they do all kinds of great things in their journals, and mine looks blah, 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 whatever is going on in your head. So this didn't work out. We can do something with this later. We could cut this spot out. We could tape photos over it. We could maybe write over it. I mean, you don't know the number of things that you could do. So you can have different journals for different reasons. So not that long ago, I made this in a video, this little book that I love. So this is a journal that I would consider a little more precious than my daily journal. My daily journal, I'm willing to experiment in. This is the first time I ever made anything even remotely like a book. And I had this, I don't even know what you call this hard press board that I used as the book cover and the rear of the book. I covered it with some gel plate prints that I had. And then I gel painted these designs on each of these pages. If you didn't see this, you can find this in my stream still. It's right up there. It's a newish one that I did. It happens to be one of my favorite. So I consider this as a little tiny journal. Like I said, it's the first book I made. It's far from perfect, but I love it. And I'm saving it to write in for something special, because I just like it that much. So, but my everyday journal is an experimentation. So I put down my everyday journal, and now I don't know where I put it down. I was right here, so it couldn't have gone far. I probably put it behind me. But my point is that your everyday journal, if you're not making messes in it, how did my journal like get up and walk out? Oh, here it is on the floor. If you're not experimenting in your journals, then and making mistakes, you know, I would consider this somewhat a mistake. It wasn't a beautiful page. It's kind of bleh. This is an okay page. But your journals should be about you. Hi, Sandy. Should be about you taking chances, making mistakes. Oh, here's a good mistake right here. Now, I'll just use this as a background for something. But I don't even remember what I was trying to do here. But it's terrible. So that's all that matters. Oh, maybe I was trying to make this background. So your everyday journal should be about taking risks and it doesn't need to be perfect. And I can't kind of stress that enough. Like, I want to have you guys, my Siri popped up for some reason. So I want you to understand that this is risk taking when you're doing these things, when you're playing and getting lost with these things. This is all great for a background. If you don't like something, you can cover it up. But this is worth taking a chance on, right? It's worth experimenting. You're not going to like everything you do. I don't like everything I do. So give yourself permission. You know, here's a good example. I don't know what I was playing with here, but you know, what is that? It's a mess, but I'll do something eventually, put something over top of it. Sandy, you love this book that I have? This is one of the best journals, really, honestly. This is my dilutions journal. I love this little pocket. I don't think I even ever really use that much of it, but it's great to store, you know, pieces of ephemera or whatever in. But this book is just one of my favorites. Now I have the 5x8 one, and that one's good for travel. This is 8x8, so it's a little big for your bag, but I just love them because they hold up. You can do a lot of things in them, and they hold up to a lot of mess. Oh, my little one. I love this little one so much, so much. This was, I don't know, I made this on a whim, and it just made me so happy. So thank you, because I do love it. And the covers just make me, like I said, make me happy. I had never made a book ever. This was my first one. So I was so happy with the way that kind of came out. It was great. So thank you. Yep, me too. I am saving it for something special. I don't know what that special will be. I don't want to save it too long because, you know, I don't know about you guys, but you can save and save and save forever and then never use it. And then what good is that? It's not, right? Okay, so now I also have this, this is colored pencil paper. And let's try to do a little something different with the colored pencil paper. I think maybe we'll try the dots. And maybe I'll peel a piece of crayon. You know what? How about this? I'll peel a piece of crayon while we talk. I'm going to switch over so that I can see you. And then I'll switch back. And I'll peel my crayon in the meantime. So I just take the crayons. I don't worry about it. And I just peel them back. Actually, this one's going to kind of give me a hard time, apparently. The other one was easier to do. So this is a good opportunity for me. At the very top, I posted, at the very top of the chat, I posted the, if you want last week's downloads, I posted how to get those, a link to the website, a link to my website. If you sign up, you'll get your free links. They come right away now instead of having to wait. Look at this mess. It doesn't want me to peel it. The crayon is saying no. Okay, so what else? Oh, here we go. Now it's coming. So you can use any color crayon. These make great backgrounds. Like I said, this is a quick and easy way to get a background down in the back of your journal. This could be your art project for today, or you could do a half a dozen of them and that could be your projects all week. I mean, if you like the way this comes out, I have to switch over so you can see it, don't I? Donna said the little ones in her life are forever peeling crayons. She said she has plenty to use for rubbings. Is this correct or what? They love to do it. All right, let's switch over now. So this is the heavier, a little bit heavier paper. This is colored pencil paper. And this is the dots. This is that hot pad that I have in my kitchen that I thought would make a good background. Now, I will do this. So this is a piece of paper, clearly not my journal. I will do this and I will color this, and then I will do cutouts on here, or I will cut out shapes or flowers or geometrics or something and glue those into my book. Or you can cut these out and use them as part of your pages or your whole pages also. So, see, you can tell I get into it, and then I totally lose track of what I'm saying. I like this because I like the different size dots. Okay. And I don't worry about things like this. Let's pick a color, any color. What color do I want to go with that? I don't remember what color this is, but I'm going to spray it up. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this is a blue. This might not be contrasty enough. Oh, maybe. You can see it resisting. This mop brush is so wet. It's very saturated. So I would just let this dry. So this blue is more like a navy blue or a Prussian blue. Now you could use contrasting colors, light colors, analogous. Okay, I'm not even gonna try. Colors next to each other on a color wheel. So I think that's kind of cool. Again, you could do that right in your book. You could cut this out, paste it in your book, or once it's dry, clearly, or you could use this for cutouts. So you could cut out heart shapes, squares, rectangles, circles. You could use it as part of a theme in your book. But that's what I like these for. And I like the crayons as the resist. And again, they're Crayolas. So I kind of like the color, the blues in the blues. Let's do another one. I'm going to use this stencil. I have another big stencil I thought about using, but let's take a piece of this. So this is that thinner paper, which is this sketch paper. And all right, this is an orange. Is this orange? This is yellow orange. Let's pick a real orange. Then I'll use maybe the yellow or the... I got a better idea. It's this color. Red orange. I like this one. So there's this one. So I'm peeling again. And clearly this is relaxing because I'm not talking as I'm doing it. I'm losing myself in this project. Okay, so here's my crayon. I'm going to try these circles here. Now, bark on a tree, if you have some really nice bark, would be really nice background. I regret never going back to the park and trying that. Any stencils that you have would work. I'm just going to do the whole stencil here. Why not? Why not just play with the whole thing? So now, clearly one big stencil might be better. So I'm thinking, now this mop brush was quite wet. So I think I'm going to start with yellow. And how about if we did like a ombre effect, maybe like a little. Again, I love the resist. It's very cool, I think. So this is the orange color that I have in watercolor. It's kind of close to that yellow though. So now and you can see all the resist happening. So my ombre effect didn't work out so good, but it's not so bad. Now again, these are great textured backgrounds. I like this look a little bit better than probably this look. But as this dries, it will become, I'm sure, much more interesting. Here's the other one that we did. I really love this. I think that's really cool. I feel like I put, oh, there's the other one. This one's dry now. This was, the gelatos are pretty useless. This one I would use maybe as cutouts. You know, put sections in my book. And this one, I would definitely cut this one out because there's so many different, but I love the circle one especially. This really needs to dry because honestly, this paper is really wet and it's thin. So you really have to let this dry. But there we go. So you get the idea now. So these are for the days. You want to make something maybe, but you don't know what to make. You're not sure what you want to make, or you have no ideas. This is something to just get the page dirty, some paint on it, whatever, and get things moving. I'm going to switch over again. And he thought, oh, I'm thinking that my thing is over here. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to show you again then. How about that? So this one I really love. I think this one came out very cool. That was the hot pad that I had for my kitchen. This is a hot pad that I got at the dollar store a while ago. This is the one that I said looks like Easter. I'm just okay with it. I don't like the purple and the yellow that much. Okay, so in the land of things you might not know about me, yellow is my least favorite color. I really don't like yellow very much. I'm kind of anti-yellow. And this is the one with the orange, and I tried to ombre it, but it doesn't really look that ombre. But these are just fun things for you to do. Again, you could take leaves and do leaves, and you could color the outside and the inside different. You could cut out the leaves and just use them as pieces of ephemera in your journal. You could do all kinds of things. You could do layers of leaves and really make a cool background with them. So there's a lot you can do with this, and just have fun. And again, your journals I can't urge this enough. Your journals really need to be a place of experimentation and fun, and not feel so precious about it, right? Not feel that you can't try things out. And if I showed you mine, I showed you the things that I didn't like in mine. If you get things you don't like, you just cover them up with, other stuff, more paint. You could, the things you really don't like. I mean, so I'm going to go back to this one. You could gesso over top of it. You could just glue things over top of it. You could do a whole collage page on this one. Your journals don't need to be beautiful all the time, and they won't be. They can't be, because it's just a place for you to try. And none of us are perfect. There's no artist in the world that has all these perfect things in their journals or their sketchbooks. And I think that's really important to understand. Social media only shows you the good things, right? I mean, that's how it works. But what we're doing here is for our health, for our wellness, for our, to de-stress. So that's why, don't be so precious. Take a chance, take a risk, do something crazy like this. And try things. Try things that you don't think will work. Try gelatos. The gelato didn't work. It melted with the water, which I figured it might. They're not water. They're what's the word I want? They're water soluble.